The new season of The Rings of Power kicks off with a detailed exploration of Sauron's backstory and his quest to create the One Ring. Here's a summary of the key points. Episode Overview. The first 3 episodes, released together, dive deep into Sauron's origins and his plans. Episode 1 is titled Elven Kings Under the Sky, a nod to the Black Speech inscription on the One Ring. The episodes focus on Sauron's creation of the One Ring and the other rings of power. Sauron's backstory. The season opens with a recount of Sauron's history from the end of the First Age to the beginning of the Second Age. We see Sauron's transformation and rise to power after Morgoth's defeat. His true form, shown in a deleted scene from The Return of the King, is revealed as an angelic being, though his physical body is destroyed multiple times throughout history. Sauron's power and plans. The show explores Sauron's abilities and his strategy to conquer Middle-earth, including his intention to use the Rings of Power. The depiction of Sauron's physical transformations and his tactics, including manipulating others to do his bidding, are central themes. Adar and Orcs. Adar, recast this season, becomes a significant character. He is portrayed as a reluctant ally of Sauron who resents Sauron's plans to enslave or kill many of his kind. The season also delves into the creation of the Orcs, with Adar's backstory revealing his connection to their origins. Creation of the Rings. The forging of the Rings of Power is a major plot point. Sauron's involvement in creating the rings, including the Elven Rings, is explored. The series diverges from the books by having the Elven Rings created before the others, contrary to the original lore. Key revelations and changes. There are notable changes from the books, such as the timing of the creation of the Elven Rings and Sauron's direct influence on them. The show also highlights Sauron's manipulation and his strategy to use others to achieve his goals. Current plotlines. The present-day plot involves Galadriel and Elrond's disagreement over the Rings of Power and their uses. Sauron's continued machinations involve using Adar and the Orcs to further his plans, with the ultimate goal of claiming the Rings of Power. Other details. The episodes provide significant screen time to the creation of Mordor and the interactions between Sauron and other key characters. The portrayal of Sauron's schemes and manipulations adds depth to the ongoing conflict in Middle-earth, Adar's origins and Sauron's plans. Adar and his followers are biologically related to Sauron, which is why they refer to him as Father. Sauron's short-term strategy involves manipulating the Orcs into attacking the Elves by misleading them into believing that Galadriel has allied with him. Sauron's original weapon, which was under creation when Adar killed him, is now being crafted by the Elves, setting the stage for significant battles highlighted in earlier trailers. The Stranger and Run. The Stranger, traveling with Nori, arrives in Run, a region previously underexplored in Tolkien's adaptations. There are theories suggesting he might be one of the Blue Wizards. He experiences disturbing visions, including the formation of the Eye of Sauron in Mount Doom's lava, and encounters with a Dark Wizard, played by Ciarán Hinds. This Dark Wizard, potentially another Blue Wizard, appears to be one of Sauron's servants, and is linked to the antagonist forces in the East. Character interactions and backstories. Círdan the Shipwright. Introduced in this episode, Círdan is a significant elf known for his wisdom and role in guiding characters to Valinor. His statements about perfection being in Valinor reflect his deep connection to elven history and craftsmanship. He is also tied to Celebrimbor and the Rings of Power. Elrond's suspicions. Elrond begins to suspect that Sauron plans to use the rings to enslave others, with references to his father, Eärendil, who guards the sun and moon. Círdan's references to past battles and the sinking of Beleriand tie back to significant historical events in Middle-earth. Developments in the East. The Stranger and Nori encounter Poppy from Season 1, who has been tracking them. A map provided by Poppy helps them navigate their way out of a trapped situation, showcasing a clever use of visual transitions. Sauron's deception and Adar's backstory. The episode reveals a pivotal backstory involving Adar and Sauron. Adar recounts his transformation and eventual enslavement by Sauron, who, in his elvish form, deceives Adar with wine, bending him to his will. This moment reflects Sauron's broader strategy of manipulating Middle-earth's races through gifts that come at the cost of their freedom. Adar's tale reveals his former loyalty to Sauron and the eventual attempt to overthrow him, which ended in his partial success but continued subjugation. The forging of the Rings of Power. In Lindon, the elves, including Gil-galad and Celebrimbor, continue to forge the Rings of Power. The rings begin to show their power by healing blight, although Sauron's influence remains a looming threat. The episode highlights the contrast between the apparent healing of the land and the dark undertones of Sauron's plan. Gil-galad's song about the fading of the elves sets a somber tone for the forthcoming battles. Sauron's manipulations. Sauron, in his Halbrand guise, reappears at Celebrimbor's forge, ready to advance his plan. Meanwhile, Galadriel experiences a vision involving Celebrimbor's death, hinting at future conflicts. The episode suggests that Galadriel's visions, linked to her ring, might foreshadow the War of the Last Alliance, which could serve as a climax for the series. The Run and Khazad-dûm subplots. In the east, the Runish soldiers face a curse or disease, possibly linked to dark magic, while the mysterious Dark Wizard, portrayed by Ciarán Hinds, hints at knowing more about the stranger and the Rings of Power. The Balrog's impending awakening in Khazad-dûm is teased but not fully revealed, suggesting future turmoil for the dwarves. Galadriel and Elrond's tensions. Galadriel seeks Elrond's help but faces criticism for being manipulated by Sauron. Elrond accuses her of falling into Sauron's schemes, reflecting the broader theme of deception and control. Additional subplots and mysteries. Poppy and Nori encounter strange occurrences involving a tornado, possibly tied to the Dark Wizard's influence or a vision. Meanwhile, Celebrimbor completes the forging of the last of the Mithril, setting up the final stages of the Rings of Power. Sauron's manipulation. The episode delves into Sauron's subtle manipulations, particularly through the character of Halbrand, who is ultimately revealed to be an avatar of Sauron. This revelation is staged as a dramatic unveiling to Celebrimbor, making him believe he is being guided by a divine messenger. Celebrimbor's trust in Halbrand, who he sees as sent by the Valar, leads him to comply with Sauron's long-term plan, creation of the rings. Celebrimbor is persuaded by Halbrand to start forging the Rings of Power, including the Dwarven Rings. The episode ends with a significant moment where Celebrimbor agrees to a bargain with Durin IV for Mithril to aid in the creation of these rings. Sauron is shown to imbue the Mithril with his own power, foreshadowing the creation of the One Ring. Numenor's political turmoil. On Numenor, the political landscape is chaotic. Pharazôn's attempts to usurp power from Queen Miriel are highlighted, with subplots involving the growing division between the king's men and the faithful. Miriel's coronation is marred by Pharazôn's manipulation and the use of a Palantir to turn public opinion against her. Elendil and the Eagles. Elendil's story includes a subplot involving his daughter and the use of the Palantir to sway public opinion. The episode also features references to the Eagles of Numenor and their departure during the Second Age. Mordor. The narrative returns to Mordor, introducing Damrod, a powerful hill troll, and continuing the subplot involving Theo and Arendar. The story reveals a bit about Theo's origins and the procreation of orcs. Future implications. The episode sets the stage for future events by portraying the ongoing efforts to forge the Rings of Power and the internal strife within Numenor. The final scenes hint at the eventual creation of the One Ring and the looming downfall of Numenor, paralleling its fate with the ancient realm of Valinor.